All right, we're gonna make some oven roasted breakfast potatoes today. So these are a really easy and simple recipe. So we'll gather our ingredients and get started. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees and spray a cooking sheet with cooking spray. After that, you can get your ingredients ready. You want to make sure that you have scrubbed clean your 4 to 5 potatoes. After that, you're ready to start getting them cut up. Using a sharp knife and cutting board, you're going to cut the potatoes into bite-sized pieces. You want your pieces to be the same size so that they cook at the same rate. As you're cutting up each potato, place it into whatever you're going to be mixing it in. It could be a large Ziploc bag or a large bowl. Either one is fine. So make even cuts on your potato, and again, as you're cutting each potato up, place it into your bag or bowl so that is ready to go. Make sure to practice proper knife safety when handling the knife. Have your fingers curled in so that you don't accidentally cut yourself. When you're done with the potatoes, you can move on to the onion. You're going to peel off that outer layer of skin and then make one slice from the root to the stem of the onion to cut it in half. After that, you can peel away the outermost layer of papery skin plus one additional layer of the onion skin. That's going to give you the freshest part of the onion. Those outer two layers aren't as edible as the rest of it. After you have peeled off the skin on the one half of the onion, you can repeat on the other half of your onion. After that, you can remove any of the onion garbage and wipe your board clean. And now you can get started cutting the onion. So you're going to make vertical cuts through the onion towards the root, but make sure you don't cut through the root. After that, make cuts perpendicular to those first cuts, and then that's going to make your onion get all diced up nice and even. So again, make cuts in the onion towards the root, but not going all the way through, and rotate, and make cuts again going the other way. That way you're only going to have just a little bit of waste right there at the root of the onion. When you're done with your cuts, you can place it into your bag or bowl, whatever you are using to mix everything up. Now you're ready to combine everything together. So you're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive or vegetable oil. And then you can add your spices. You can do whatever spices you'd like. But for this recipe, I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. Next, I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. The next spice I'm going to add is garlic powder. For this recipe, I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, but you can even add a little bit extra if you like a lot of garlic. Next is Italian seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon. This is a blend of a few different Italian herbs, basil, oregano, etc. It adds a nice flavor to these potatoes. And last but not least, 1 teaspoon of paprika. That's going to give it a little bit of a smoky flavor as well as a nice reddish color. Once you have added all of your spices, if you're using the Ziploc bag, seal that up really good so that you can shake the potatoes to coat. If you are using a large bowl, make sure you mix those thoroughly. with your hands or a spoon. Any of those would be fine. Just make sure they are all the way coated so you don't have any potatoes or onions that aren't coated in spices. After you have coated your potatoes, you can go ahead and place those onto your cookie sheet that you already sprayed earlier with cooking spray for non-stick purposes. So spread those out into a single layer. That's going to make sure that all the edges are touching the pan, and you're going to place it in the oven for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you want to take those out and use a spatula to flip over the potatoes. That's going to give a chance for all of the steam to escape and the edges to get nice and golden brown. After you're done flipping, you can spread those back out into an even layer, and those are going to go back into the oven for 15 more minutes. Potatoes are done when you can pierce them with a fork so they are fork tender. I like serving my breakfast potatoes with an egg bake, bacon, and some fresh fruit.